Hey everyone, welcome back, and this is another anime review. This is called Hitsugi no Chika, or Chika the Coffin Princess. Another anime that's ending for the spring of 2013, and it was one of my favorites of this year. Definitely, at least I'm pretty sure, I'll look at the list here. Yup, it's on my top 10 anime of the season. So, yeah, it's based on... Actually, I'm not sure if it's based on the manga or the light novel. Well, the light novel started in 2010 and the manga started in 2011, and they're both still ongoing. And there's a secondary manga as well, called Hitsugi no Chika, which started in 2011 and is still ongoing. Okay. And another manga, holy shit, which started called Geku and Chika, which started in 2014, still ongoing. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's not based off that. But the anime, though, was directed by Soichi Masui and written by Toko Machida, and it's by Studio Bones. And Bones has really been on a roll this year. Alright. And it's originally ran from April 9th, 2014 to June 25th, 2014, with a total of 12 episodes in the end, and Season 2 already planned for the fall, plus an OVA for March of 2015. I'm not sure if it's going to be an OVA for the first or second season. Probably the second season, but still. But yeah, like I just said, though, Bones has really been on a roll this year, so far this year. First there was Noragami, which was amazing from the winter, as well as a Space Dandy from the winter, which I didn't watch, but... Well, wait, was that the winter or the spring? I'm pretty sure it was the winter, yeah. But it ran through the spring, though. Which I didn't watch, but a lot of people say says is really good. Then there's this, alright, and then during the summer they're gonna bring back Space Dandy for second season. Then in the fall they're gonna bring back this for the second season, and it's like they're really on a fucking roll this year, at least so far. Okay. So, what's the plot, though? 5 years ago, in the 200-year war between the Alliance of Six Nations and the Gaz Empire comes to an end with Emperor Arthur Gaz. The immortal emperor of the Gaz Empire is finally killed by 8 warriors known as the 8 Heroes. After the war, the emperor's lands were divided by the Alliance, who later formed the Council of Six Nations to bring peace and order to the land. In the present day, Toru Akura is a former saboteur who lives with his sister Akari. Toru is unable to settle in this peaceful era as his saboteur skills are useless and sees no meaning in his life. While out foraging at the forest, Toru encounters Chika Trabant, a white-haired wizard with a white headband and a coffin, saving her from a man-eating unicorn. Seeing their skills as saboteurs, Chika hires Toru and Akari for an important task: to steal the remains of Arthur Gaz from the 8 Heroes. Chika reveals that she is actually Princess Chika Gaz, the Emperor's daughter, who managed to escape during the end of the war and wishes to find her father's remains, which were divided amongst the 8 Heroes as his body parts emit strong magical energy, so he may be given a proper burial. However, the trio will face difficulties with the post-war Kleeman Agency's Gilead Corps, who are tasked in capturing Chika as they fear her existence will gather Gaz loyalists and the rebirth of the Gaz Empire, as well as the power of Arthur's remains might reignite a war. Not only that, they must also face other groups led by girls who also claim to be Chika Gaz. Thus begins Toru, Chika, and Akari's journey throughout the continent. And that's basically the plot of this series. It's actually quite good. It's another classic example of a series that has a fairly simple plot that goes in lots of directions that you would not expect it to. Alright. And speaking of other Chikas, we only really see two others. We see another one, a yellow Chika, but she reveals later on that she's actually not really a Chika. But I think that her and her men were actually a God's loyalists, though. But other Chikas include a red Chika and a kind of a blue Chika, I guess you could say, because the main Chika is kind of like a white Chika. So yeah, there's lots of characters in this series. I'm only going to talk about the ones that really need to be talked about, though. So Toru Akura is a pretty interesting character. He's another example of a character that actually started out, I think, pretty boring. But he grew into a character that I actually really liked and respected. He's very loyal to his comrades, especially his sister. Even though him and his sister argue a lot, that's common sibling shit that never goes away, I'm pretty sure, no matter how old you get. So it's like, yeah, I mean, and his sister and him have proven that they still care for each other, you know. And Akari is another likable character. Chika is interesting because I'm guessing she was never taught to speak normally, or maybe it was full sentences and whatnot, or maybe that's just how her people speaks, I don't know. But she speaks in really broken English, which really added to her character a little bit, I guess, because, I mean, I always wondered how they could actually understand her, you know. Then there was Frederica, who's a dragoon, a race of magical armored dragons with the ability to shapeshift, which apparently they're immortal. The only way to kill them is to destroy their brain. But even when her brain's destroyed by an enemy, it was revealed later on that she just molted, and so out of the stomach of the dead corpse pops her, although she's a lot tinier, and she eventually grows up back up to normal size again. She's a really cool character, mainly for comedy relief purposes, but I still enjoyed watching her on screen. And there's lots of other characters in, like, Killyman Agency, like Conrad, Karen, Gilly, and then there's the Gilead Corps in the agency, led by Alveric Gilead, and all the other members there. Okay, yeah. Then there's Chika Bodan's group, which is another Chika, the red Chika that I was talking about before, as well as David and Selma. Then there's the Soara Floating Fortress, led by Layla, who's known as the Blue Chika, as well as Ricardo Gavarni and Grad Lancia. Then there's the 8 heroes, and there's so many other characters that we really don't get a good grasp on it. If I had any complaints with the series, that definitely would be it. It's that they have so many characters in this series, and you don't really get a good grasp on many of them at all. Really, the only ones that you do are obviously the main characters, so Toru, White Chika, Akari, and a little bit of Frederica, and then red and white, or red and blue Chika too, obviously. But those are really the only characters, except for like Gilead, who is a pretty cool character as well. That you really get a large grasp on. All the other characters are really just fodder characters. Even Gilead ends up dying eventually, so it's like, supposedly anyway. So it's like, yeah. If they're gonna introduce so many characters, I really think that they should work on making them a lot more prominent than they were, you know. Also, the villains obviously are prominent characters, but that's just to be expected, you know. The other two villains, the two that are with Blue Chika all the time, especially Layla. I mean, especially Ricardo. So yeah, but That being said, let's move on from the characters. Let's talk about the music. The music in the series is really good. Okay, like the action scenes are probably my favorite music. There's not a whole lot of sentimental scenes in this series, but whenever there is, the music definitely complements it well. And also the opening and the ending is really fucking awesome too. Okay. Now let's talk about well, first off, the art. The art, I'm not really going to discuss too much because it's nothing too groundbreaking or unique. The animation, though, was really fucking good. And this is what I would expect from Bones, okay? Seriously, this is classic Bones animation right here. The animation is phenomenal in the series, in most instances. And I really enjoyed just looking at it alone, even though there's way more to it than just looking at it, obviously. I enjoyed just looking at it alone, okay? Which just proves how much budget went into this fucking series. It looks great. Alright, so, yeah, in terms of animation, I have no complaints right there. Anyways, though, I think I'm gonna about wrap up this review, though. Overall, I definitely recommend this series. I'm really glad that it's really good. I'm really glad that Bones is starting to come back from the slump that they've been in lately with these new series this year, and this one is included with that. Another complaint I will have was, for me, it took like 3 or 4 episodes to actually get into it. So if you don't like that, then you're probably not gonna like this series. Because I wasn't able to get into it like right away. Okay. So yeah, I do think, I mean, it's just a minor thing for me personally, but I do think it's worth mentioning for some people. Anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.